Masters and distinguished guests.
Good evening.
Welcome to Bangalore Toastmasters Club meeting number 1290. We know some people fall asleep faster, longer and feel refreshed in the morning. According to research, people counting their blessings feel more refreshed, have good sleep in the morning. Good sleep. People with gratitude attitude find many benefits, which will be revealed in this today's session. The mission of Toastmaster Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before we begin, please switch your mobile phone's loudly ringtone into silent mode. And let's follow the 3 golden rules. Refrain yourself from speaking about sex, politics and religion. Playing it my way. An autobiography of a great legend cricketer, Sachin Tendulkar, which influenced this person to play in his way. This person is a great fan of Sachin Tendulkar. Ladies and gentlemen, please join hands with me in welcoming most magnanimous person who always carry smile on his corner of lips. President greetings.
Thank you so much, Kirtana, for that heartwarming introduction. Sorry. I'm really sorry. Good evening, Toastmasters and JKs.
Good evening.
How are you doing this evening?
Great.
Excellent. So, going ahead, now I would request our secretary, Toastmaster Preeti, to read out the minutes of previous meeting.
Good evening, Toastmasters and their guests.
Good evening.
Our meeting 1289 was dedicated to Sir Ralph Spencer. The theme was, he was more than a man, he was an age. How true. Word of the day was perennial, meaning is existing for a long or apparently infinite time. Kirtana, our Sergeant at Arms, started the meeting at sharp 6:30 p.m. by remembering Sir Ralph Spencer and President followed suit. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sudipto, along with the title themes, dexterity with precision, facilitated the seamless flow of the session. While Toastmaster Utkarsh, icebreaker, Toastmaster Aditya's health is well, and Toastmaster Nageshar's sharing on the importance of tailoring one's communication according to the situation enthralled the audience. Toastmaster Smita's thought-provoking speech on Gavel project enlightened us. The general evaluator, Toastmaster Alec, along with Toastmaster Hannah, DTM Teresa Ma'am, Toastmaster Melvyn sir, and Toastmaster Robinson sir, did a clinical evaluation and gave crisp feed-forwards. Table topic session is that piece of communication that can make a beautiful topic like dating, scene, or death sentence. And on the other hand, dreaded topics like roasting a friend can throw you into splits. Mind you, the death sentence was on me. Table topics master, Toastmaster Lokesh, did not disappoint us and brought forth Table topic speakers were a sport to watch. The shining stars of last session were Tiger team player, Toastmaster George Tissa, Pro Taker Toastmaster Sudipto Ghosh, Table topic speaker ETM Dr. Rajdeep Manwani, Evaluator Toastmaster Robinson D'Souza, Speaker Toastmaster Nagesh Ram. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kirtana, for that elaborate, very minutes of meeting. Minutes of meeting. Yeah.
One day
So, so dear members, is there any amendments in the minutes of meeting?
I would suggest you mention that the meeting was online, not offline. 1 to 8 was offline. Sorry, online.
It was online.
Online.
It was online.
Yes.
So, yeah, okay. Got it. Thank you. So I declare the minutes stand pass. We can see some of the guests here today. So I request them to please stand up and do a quick introduction of yourself. What's your name and what do you do?
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Rishabh. I'm an architecture student studying in Kerala.
Great.
Thank you.
Hello friends, myself Manjesh. I work for HP as the operations head. I have 2 years of experience. I live in Bangalore. Thank you.
I'm working as a service engineer for studies. Basically, I'm doing service.
Myself Sumit. I'm working as a service engineer. I'm basically from Kerala.
How do we welcome our guests? We are really happy to have you here today. Thank you so much for being here. Years ago, when I first came to Bangalore, my topmost nightmares were first, any girl coming to me and speaking in English. Second, getting into an auto in Bangalore. I know which one you want me to talk about. But today, let me talk about auto. I was really scared, or I was getting too much mental stress to get into an auto. Because numerous people have told me I should be careful with the people, or I should be careful with the auto drivers in Bangalore. Because otherwise, they may loot you. And even I was very new to this town, and I didn't know the language, I didn't know the routes. Hope many of you can relate to it, right?
Yes.
So I was very cautious while traveling in auto, always looking at the meter. Always looking at the meter and checking the surroundings. Is he taking right path or is he trying to fool me? So this was a huge mental stress for me. Once, early morning, around 4 o'clock, I got into an auto from Majestic to my room. It was near Maniwala. It was so cold that I was sitting completely squeezed inside that auto, looking at the meter. By the time I reached Maniwala, I was feeling hot in my head. Not because the temperature rose suddenly, because by seeing the meter. Yes, it was showing 100 rupees more than usual. I felt really cheated. I questioned him. He started arguing. He started shouting at me back. So it increased my blood pressure. I started shouting at him and my voice reached the peak. And I forgot the surrounding and I ignored everything. People started staring at me and they started coming towards this situation. Then what I did, I gave him 250 rupees and kept on walking, and he kept on cursing me for that. After reaching home, I was dwelling about it and I decided this cannot continue further. I have to have a full stop it. So during that thought, it came to my mind that after all, I may be losing 30, 50 or maybe 100 rupees. Instead of calling it as cheating or feeling cheated, I thought I will look it into a different angle. I decided to take this experience as a way of helping auto drivers and their families. I'm not sure how many people I helped, but surely I know this attitude of gratitude helped me to gain that mental peace to travel through autumn or travel in autumn. Similarly, in Toastmasters, maybe first 3 to 4 years, I was not showing any improvement. I was not regular. I was not gaining any value. I was at the verge of quitting. Then I sat and thought about the blessings, or I started counting the blessings which I gained from Toastmasters or Bangalore Toastmasters Club. The first one, I could listen to great speeches here and get motivated. I could make lifelong friends here, and the 2 hours I spent here was like a stress buster to me. I swear, this attitude of gratitude helped me to hook on to this Toastmaster journey, and now you all can see where I am standing. So these all are some of the surprises about practicing gratitude in my life. So all you have to do is make yourself feel good in your thoughts, and you have solved everything. Yes, everything. With that note, I would like to introduce the next person coming on stage. He is a very ambitious person. He is a general manager in a media distribution company. And his passion is traveling and photography. Not just photography, wild photography. When I asked him about the theme, he told me he wanted to tell you directly. So, please help me welcoming Toastmaster Vinay Venkataraman.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for that wild introduction. To make it clear, I'm not a wild photographer. I photograph wild animals, individuals. So the surprising thing about gratitude is there is nothing surprising about it. While you may ask, for each his own. As far as I'm concerned, I feel that as humans, we are transactional beings. You help someone, and that someone helps you back. Well, at least most of the times. In a similar fashion, for me, Toastmaster has been in the same relationships plane. Whatever I have given to Toastmasters, it has given me 2x the time. From an underconfident, feebly speaking speaker 5 years ago to what I am as of date, at least a moderate speaker who can probably get through the meeting without major hiccups. I think I have come a long way. And it is all thanks to the Toastmasters Club. And it is due to the magnanimity of Dr. Ralph C. Smedley that we are all here today. In the year 1924, 22nd October, in Santa Ana, California, he founded the first Toastmasters Club. As on date, there are 16,000 clubs across the globe and still counting. A typical Toastmasters meeting has three sections. The first one is the prepared speeches, the second is the table topics, and the third is the general evaluation. I will introduce the general evaluator later on through this meeting, but upon his request, I would also like to take you through a team called as a tag team, tag plus L. And I'll call upon them one by one. The tag team stands for timer, R counter, and grammarian, and L for listener. That is a new add-on that we have recently. And I would request the timer of today, Toastmaster Manikandan, to please explain his role to the audience.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guests. They say time is money. If you save less or spend more, you are in trouble. So we have to use it in right proportion. And today, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to see whether we invested the right time during the meeting. And for prepared speech, the right time is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I will show this green card, which shows you have invested right amount of time to start with. And at 6 minutes, I'll show you the yellow card, where it indicates, yes, it's time for you to think of wrapping up. And at 7 minutes, I'll show you the red card, where it shows that you're on the borderline. And table topics, it's like stock market trading, very risky. So it's about 1 to 2 minutes. So at 1 minute, I would show your green card saying your investment is at risk. And at 1.5 minutes, I would show yellow card. It's time to take out your profits. And at 2 minutes, it's your sinking. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Mani. We have the R counter, Toastmaster Varsha.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Avoiding as will take your speeches to ahas. Avoiding long and short pauses will get you thundering round of applause. Repeating phrases may make a way for you to repeat your speeches. With those tips, I will come back to you with a magnanimous report without bargaining or discounting on as and ums that you have used when called upon to do so. Back to you.
Toastmaster Jainam as a grammarian.
So today the word of the day is magnanimous, and it means showing or suggesting nobility of feeling and generosity of mind. A good usage would be: the magnanimous professor delayed the deadline for the assignment submission by a week owing to the pandemic. And so I will note down the good usage of English grammar and good usage of English words. And I will also watch for the wrong usage of English grammar, usage of double negatives, extra words, and incorrect tense. And I will present my report to the general evaluator at the end.
Toastmaster Kamlesh.
Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. You have listened to the timer, grammarian, and counter, but it is incomplete without listening to all of them. So today I will be listening carefully to all the role takers, and I request to listen carefully so that at the end I will ask simple questions so that I will test your listening skills. Thank you.
So let us begin with the prepared speeches and speech number 1. The first of the dynamic leadership part, and his evaluator is Toastmaster Chose. Will you please read out the guidelines?
Thank you, Toastmaster. For Toastmasters and dear guests, the purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envision mentoring. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. So this speaker is a lawyer by profession, and he enjoys traveling, cooking, chicken biryani, and following sports in his off time. His speech is titled Toast Mentors. Let's put our hand together for Toastmaster Arun Kamath.
Sophocles, an ancient Greek playwright, wrote a play called Antigone. In the play, he wrote that men should be right by their instinct, but sometimes they go astray. Hence, it would be wise to listen to other men who can teach them or guide them. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests. Very quickly, if someone can tell me, what is a mentor to you? Very quickly, in not more than a few words. What is a mentor to you?
Good friend.
Absolutely. Someone else?
Listener or guider.
Absolutely. A friend, a listener, and a guider. Absolutely. Now, nowhere did we come across the word teacher. Nowhere did we come across the word manager. You see, a mentor plays a significant but unique role in our lives. A mentor is somebody who is there without a formal designation. Now let's go back a bit. Let's go back to our school days. Some not so long ago, some a little longer, right? We had a senior in school, or we may even had a junior teacher, even a colleague, even a classmate that we looked up to, that they were good at a sport, they were good at a subject, and that school senior would help us. They would say, approach this subject in a way, approach this sport in a particular way. We look up to them, right? Go back to maybe your first job. There was a peer or a certain senior, maybe something not so senior but senior to you, that helped you ease into the office, ease into a work surroundings, get familiar with people and the work situation around you, right? The softer touch to things. Some of you all go back to maybe when you all shifted cities. There was somebody in the building, somebody in the neighborhood that eased your transition into new surroundings. You see where I'm getting at, friends, is not somebody who goes by a book or a manual, but somebody that that's somebody that holds your hand along the way. That is a mentor. Somebody who takes a personal interest in your development, in your upbringing. Somebody that serves as a role model to you without, again, any formal tag, any formal recognition. Somebody who freely offers you some amount of knowledge, some amount of wisdom, perspective, intel, insight, and whatever you may ask them. And finally, someone who's just always there as a sounding board. Somebody you can call up maybe at 11 o'clock at night and say, hey, listen, I have this problem at work, or I have this problem with another friend. Help me out. And they're there. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a mentor, a true mentor. Now, why am I talking about a mentor? Toastmaster, when I said the topic of my speech is toast mentoring, he also added the fact that I cook chicken biryani, which I've never made. But toast mentoring means something more than Toastmaster, because you see, more than the mastery, we look at the mentoring in Toastmasters, right? The Toastmasters fraternity takes mentoring extremely important. For instance, it is a formal program. As and when a new member joins the club, they are assigned a mentor. This is a Toastmasters requirement, and this is implemented at club level. The project that I'm speaking to you on is to discuss the mentoring program at Toastmasters. A mentor essentially helps a new member in what? I mean, you have your pathways, you have your manuals, you attend your Friday meetings, but again, it's so much more than that. Helps you understand what Toastmasters is all about. Helps you probably choose which path to take, what's behind some of those modules that you see online. Helps you understand Toastmasters meetings, helps you take up a role, pushes you to enter a contest. Nowhere on any website will it give you that push. Ask you to take up a tag role for the week. That is who a mentor is. Somebody who gives you a push, and again, somebody you can call up. And I'll come to personal experience. And somebody you can call up as a sounding board. Somebody outside a training manual. You see, coming to my personal experience as a mentee, I have been at the Bangalore Toastmasters Club for just under a couple of years now. And I remember when I was first inducted into the club, the then president Toastmaster, Deepika Das, somebody I look up to very fondly as a public speaker. She got in touch with me and she said, "You've been assigned a very sweet person and somebody who's going to go the extra mile for you, and trust me, somebody who knows a lot." I said, "Okay, that's great." And I think there are a lot of people at the club that are absolutely, I'm very happy, very excited. But you see, I would always rate myself as a middle bencher. Now, you know what the issue with a middle bencher in class is? Not your front bencher, not somebody who's completely compliant with everything and raises their hand for every answer. Not somebody on the back bench who either joins a rock band and is very successful or starts a $1 billion company. Unfortunately, I am not either of them. I'm someone that falls middle bencher. They come with their own set of idiosyncrasies. So, what I have done is probably not what any new member should do. There are times I haven't utilized my mentor to the max capacity. There are times I've reached out very late. There are times I haven't even run through my speech by my mentor. There are times where it's been 3 days, 5 days, I've given a speech or run for an office role, but still, my mentor has been there as a sounding board. And mind you, there are a lot of others who are also there. They're mentors to their own mentees. Even if they're not your official mentor, they're there for you. That is the greatness of Toastmasters, Toast mentors. You see, we need to make use of our mentors when assigning them. Because that's how we gain the full value beyond your modules and beyond your Friday evening meetings. So I leave you with one message. Learn from my mistakes. I'm not preaching to you. I'm also telling myself. Have that eagerness to learn from your mentor. Be receptive to ideas. Implement them. And make full use of them because you think it benefits only you. Not really. It also benefits your mentor. It helps them stay active. It helps them think how to guide you. It's overall beneficial. And finally, you may wonder who my mentor is. Well, a little bit of mystery there, but a very bizarre fact is that my mentor is also the person that spoke before me and is evaluating my speech right now about mentoring. So thank you and thank you.
What would we be without mentors? Not just imagine. That was a great speech. Let's move on to the second speech of the day, second prepared speech of the day, and this is also the same, level 2 and project 3, so I guess there is no need to repeat the guidelines. This speaker has been president of our club for several terms. He's also been the area director and a very nicely musically inclined person. We would like to call him the Carlos Santana of our club. And his title of the speech is Dream, Dare, Do. Dream, Dare, Do. Distinguished Toastmaster Melvyn Smith.
Hello and welcome to Mentoring in Toastmasters. Do I sound like a TV anchor? Dear Toastmasters and guests, I am so delighted to be here in person and live. How about you? Are you interested to hear me? Yes. Wow. I can't see you smiling, so you've got to you pump up the volume when you talk. Please raise your hand if you join Toastmasters to become a better speaker. And keep your hands raised. And look around at the others. Thank you. Raise your hand if you join Toastmasters to become a better leader. Look around. Thank you. And raise your hand if you join Toastmasters to just make friends and go out on Friday evening for a drink. Okay, I appreciate your honesty. I like you guys. We'll meet later. What if I paired you with somebody in that group, who is experienced knowledgeable, and is willing to help. Willing to help. That is a perfect recipe of a mentor. Now my speech has 3 parts. My experience as a mentor, mentee, what they call protege, why mentors and mentoring, and my journey as a mentor. Now which one should I speak about? Well, I'm in a good mood and you're a good audience. I will talk about all 3. I need to give you all some work to do. Otherwise you'll just look very glum-faced. When I joined Toastmasters, I joined because I wanted to become a better speaker and improve my communication skills. So I joined the Bangalore Toastmasters Club at the St. Joseph's College. And I found the members are very jovial, friendly, helpful, and all were interested in helping me. I was so happy to be in their company, but I was a bit skeptical. How much do they charge to teach the skill? I soon realized that they don't teach, we learn from each other. And that began my journey. Toastmaster Sumitra was the VP head, and she was magnanimous in her encouragement with me all along the way. I received the first OTP, online, what's that? What's OTP? One-time password. Your mentor is on it. My mentor is a knowledgeable and experienced person. He's a corporate trainer. More so, he is somebody who is very understanding and very caring. And the icing on the cake, he's positive and extremely helpful. That is exactly what Toastmasters envision what a mentor should be like. So I took advantage of my mentor and I told him, please write me a humorous speech for my icebreaker, which I will practice and I'll deliver. What? Mentors don't write speeches. He got me to write my own speech and gave me critical feedback, something I was craving for. I needed constructive criticism. I found members in the club very confident, speaking eloquently, and going about business so well. There were people like you and me, with the same challenges, but with the help of a mentor, they all came out shining. I was inclined to leadership, so I took up leadership skills, leadership roles in the executive committee in the club area, and I even went to become the division director. But I was amazed with the creativity you allowed and the free-handed living when you are given a role. And I realized as a division director that the higher you go in Toastmaster, the less control you have. Good. So I can go to my second point. That is mentor and mentoring. Why do we need mentors and mentoring? Some people think mentoring is like a formal transfer of knowledge. I think, and I sincerely believe, that mentoring is a two-way healing of process to progress. I know it's difficult to take it. Two-way healing of progress to process to progress. It is like lighting a flame, one person lighting the flame of another and brightening everyone. There are mutual benefits. Of course, you do get a different perspective, and somebody as a mentor should help you not just to be a good Toastmaster, but to show you the whole picture. It is said, if you want to do something in life, dream, dare, do. If you want to do something extraordinary, dream, dare, but you have to do it with a mentor. So that brings me to my third point. My journey as a mentor. So the one thing I detested most in school, college, and even at work was criticism and the way it was given. Never encouragement, never encouraging, and definitely not good for the morale. So I decided, as a mentor, I'm going to give constructive criticism and genuine feedback. And I make sure I not just treat them as a Toastmaster, but show them the full picture. All my mentees had outstanding qualities and talents, but I made them realize that and made them enhance those qualities. One of my mentees were also very elegant and smart and humble and open-minded, and that helped her to become very confident and go ahead in her speeches much faster than even I could have done. No pain, no gain. And like the theme for today is gratitude turns what we have into enough, till the output of life is a summary of the choices we make. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Whitley and Melvyn, for enlightening us with a great speech. Let's move on to the third speech of the day. And I will request Toastmaster Abhay Kokali to please read out the guidelines of the speech level 2, project 1.
Good evening, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The speaker is attempting a project called Understanding Your Communication Style from level 2, and the purpose statements of this project are for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his or her primary style, and to share the impact of his or her style on others. Time manager, please note, time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best to the speaker. Thank you.
I feel today's theme should have been mentor and mentee. The reason why I'm saying this is I will be introducing my own mentor today. And this is second time lucky because the last time I was there for a physical meeting, I introduced him, and this is the second time. Well, he has been the founding member of this club. He is a distinguished Toastmaster. And what I got to know today, which was obvious, is he says he likes to help people and wants the fun. And I'm glad he did that, seeing me grow as a speaker in this club. And the topic of his speech, or the heading of his speech is called The Style That Created a Miracle. The style that created a miracle, distinguished Toastmaster Robinson D'Souza.
I want someone to help me with the mic. I want mic, please. Someone from stop the time until I begin. Yes, don't say. Do you have a job? You get the first job. Good. Whatever job you have in life, your success is determined 5% by your education qualifications, 15% by your job experience, and the remaining 80% by communication skills. Thank you for your introduction. Good evening, everybody present here. Toastmasters has identified 4 types of styles in communication: direct, analytical, supportive, and initiative. A year back, I came to know a couple, and after coming to know of their story, I was amazed, and it was a marvelous one. I started liking them. For Pradeep and Pramila, it is their second marriage. Pradeep, a divorcee, has married Pramila, a widow. Pramila lost her husband after 5 months of her first marriage. He had a heart attack. Pradeep's first marriage was an arranged marriage by one of his relatives, but only thereafter he realized that his wife had an incurable mental disease. She didn't know what medicines she had to take. And naturally, that marriage ended in a divorce. Today, Pradeep and Pramila have been married for the last 6 years. They have 2 children. The first is 5 years old. Recently, Pramila delivered the second child 4 months back, and 15 days back had gone there to their restaurant to congratulate her. At that time, I observed Pradeep's parents living with the family because his parents were teachers in government schools. Pradeep resides in a big, very huge apartment. It is jointly owned by Pradeep and his mother. And of course, after the retirement, they have come here to live. When I went there to meet them 15 days back, there was no smile, and Pramila was almost crying. And Pradeep, no life in his body at all, just staring at all. I went on chatting with them for a while, but throughout, Pradeep's mother was sitting there in the same hall observing us. Then I realized that something was wrong. As I was coming out, Pradeep accompanied me outside and said, "Uncle, I have a problem." I looked at him. He said, "Uncle, my mom has come here and look after them." All right. But mom, my second child, 4 months old baby, is not well. Since morning, he is having cold. And my mom has asked my wife, Pramila, not to feed her with her breast milk, but give the child a pod of garlic, raw garlic, crushed with cooked rice. And that, she says, cures cold. We have 2 doctors here, it's for you to guess. Sakshi and Raghunath. Yeah. And then he said, she's educated. And she has brought up our first child. He is brilliant. What should I do? This style of communication, friends, is direct. Direct communicators are confident, decisive, focused, and result-oriented. They don't compromise at all. Coming to the next style, last week, our member, Toastmaster Nagesh, spoke on the same topic. Does anyone remember on what style he spoke? All right. He spoke about supportive. It is calm, gentle, and sincere. Coming to the third one, that person is always enthusiastic, fun-loving, sociable, and many times they repeat the same thing. They don't listen, they go on speaking. I have been living with such a person for the last 45 years after I married her. Coming to the last one, that is initiative. Coming to the last, in January 2016, I had this group of people like this. There were about 50 persons. They wanted to pay for IAS examination. Throughout my speech, one person was sitting at the last row at the middle, hefty, well built, but he didn't speak at all. After the session, I went and asked him. Then I realized that he had a speaking problem. I had that same problem. I explained to him how I was helped. About Toastmasters, Bangalore Toastmasters, Ashirwad. And next Friday, when I entered the hall for the speech, he was already sitting there on the second chair, where a gentleman is sitting. That day itself he joined this club, and within 3 years, 9 months, he became a DTM. But at ready to come to us, because after joining here, changed his course, he joined MBA, chose me as his guardian, and after MBA, 2 years MBA, he got his job relocated. Recently, there was no commission between us, and 15 days back again, I found him and shouted at him. And he said, "Sir, I am sick. My health is deteriorating." Then I said, "If you are sick, health is deteriorating, why disconnect? You need friends." So telling the same thing to everybody, I am fed up. Do make a promise. I don't ask you how is health, how you are doing, but we must continue. Last week, Smita Roshi was presenting a speech here, and at that time I received this message. You are sir, you are the first one whom I would like to narrate, inform. I have secured my second DTM today. Don't you think the style, analytical style I adopted, logical, precise, and systematic, worked a miracle? Mr. Toastmaster.
Excuse me, please. My stomach is filled with so much food that there is hardly any space for the butterflies to fly. Because what we're looking at is the table topic session. And it is bound to induce butterflies in stomachs, irrespective of how full you are. To take this table topic session forward, we have a very charming, very old member of this club. He was quoting a Afro-Bush hairstyling contract. Unfortunately, it is started on. But that does not reduce his charm. Let me call on Toastmaster Mahavir Jain.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. Are you all ready for table topics?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, just before that, I want to tell you a small story. The surprising thing about gratitude. So long back, a couple of years back, I'd come across this self-help book called Secret. And in one of those chapters, Rhonda Bryan talks about how people use gratitude to cure themselves, which is amazing, curing chronic diseases. So gratitude is something which can help you cure not just your health condition, but it can also help you grow as a person, financially, health-wise, and in every way possible. So I'm very grateful to you all for listening to me. So I'll give you some cheat codes today for table topics. So first cheat code for the speakers who get very hesitant with the topic. is you can either convince the audience your point of view or just confuse them. Convince or confuse. It's your choice, whatever you want to do. So starting off with the first topic is once upon a time. I repeat the topic, it's once upon a time. May I request you all to put your hands together for Toastmaster Guru.
So, good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
So, how are you feeling? Top of the world. Thank you very much, Dear Toastmaster, for the wonderful topic. Once upon a time, and he was telling me to confuse the audience. Once upon a time, I started my career in sales. I don't have great communication skills. I don't have that kind of charisma to convince a customer. What I used to do? I used to just confuse the customer. Instead of, see, convincing is most difficult job, but confusion, you can confuse the customer to the core. So I used to take that opportunity whenever I meet a client or a customer, try to confuse him and get a sale. Then later on I understood, confusing is not the way. Then the second mantra is, I thought of, let me convince the customer and sell the product. Over a period of time, I still felt that why we have to convince or why we have to confuse. Why not? We give a solution to the customer and give a value proposition to the customer. Once we give a value proposition to the customer or solution to the customer, he'll be not only happy, but at the same time, we build a relationship with the people. Thank you very much. Over to the tabletop master.
Yeah, I forgot to tell one thing, that's about timing. We've just made slight changes with regards to timing. So the timer will have green card raise at 1 minute, yellow at 1 minute 15 seconds, and red at 1 minute 30 seconds. But you do get a grace period of 30 seconds more, so you can speak until 2 minutes max. Alright? So the next speaker we have, the topic is, if I was the managing director of Reliance Industry. If I was the managing director of Reliance Industries, may I request you all to put your hands together for Toastmaster Rajdeep Manwani.
If I was the managing director of Reliance Industries, I'm not convinced about it, so I'll confuse you all a little bit. I was working in a small company called Shivananda Electronics, which is even minuscular than 2,000 times the Reliance Industries, and we had a secretary there, her name was Lily. And I remember once she was very thin and she fainted over there, and at that point of time, everybody went up to her and what happened. She used to come from Krishnarajpuram and it used to be a long time since she used to reach there and all that. So I went up to her and asked her what happened after she had recovered. They had given her some water and biscuits, and she told something very interesting which confused me, and I want to tell you the same. She told, sir, in the morning I had sense, sir, but by the time I came, I became nonsense. So, just the same thing. It's no point remembering what you're going to become as a managing director, but I think so what makes the important difference is whether we have gratitude to what we are actually and what we already have. That's 1 minute or what?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I have 1 minute more. So what's the gratitude part of it in this confusion scenario? We had taken our students to a place called Samarthanam, which is a place for disabled people, and some of the students were complaining over there. They were telling, oh my God, my father, he's a villain, he doesn't let me sleep. He asked me to sleep by 10:30. The other one said, no, my mother is even worse, she tells me to go to bed by 10. And there was a small boy in that Samarthanam who came and told me, sir, your students are complaining about their parents.
tell them it's better to have parents who shout at them rather than to have no parents at all. So let's have that gratitude. We may not be the managing director, we may not have nonsense, but we have that sense to live on. So forget the managing director and let's keep these two things in mind. Thank you.
Next topic is a walk to remember. I repeat, a walk to remember. May I request you all put your hands together for Toastmaster Nazmeen.
Good evening, Toastmasters and honored guests. A walk to remember. This was the walk I'm going to remember all my life because this is my second time I think I'm standing at this lecture and speaking. Because I've always been there online and I've joined very recently, 7 months back. I was inducted as a Toastmaster. And this walk, I hope it's going to be a memorable one if you all can give me a bright smile and cheer me up. And thanks to our president, he has always supported me by approving my projects on time. And my mentors, that is Sunitra Manmohan, the Bold and Beautiful, and definitely Robinson sir, and here to listen, touch, to push up, to show you the way. And he showed me the way how to walk on this stage with a stance, confidence. I will definitely do it. Thank you so much. And this is the first walk I did. Thank you so much.
Great. Next we have how I was scammed. I repeat the topic. It's how I was scammed. May I request Toastmaster Vijayanand to please come up. Yes, scam.
Just 10 seconds ago, this is the biggest scam of my life. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. We have all kinds of scams happening, but the biggest scam is in the field of beverages. I'm not talking about coffee or tea. I'm talking about beer. Now don't get me wrong, I know you think it's Friday evening Toastmasters, beer is not alcohol. I told my father that beer is, I told him hard liquor and then beer. He said, what's wrong with you? There's only liquor, remove the hard. So beer is not liquor, it's a beverage. And the biggest scam is 1000 ml of petrol, 95 rupees. 1000 ml of diesel, 95 rupees. 650 ml of Kingfisher, 180. 650 ml of Corona, 340 rupees. Now this is the biggest scam going on planet Mother Earth. Because I'm told by doctors, when you consume beer, kidney stones. So many of us suffer from kidney stones because we don't consume enough water. And what is beer? Barley water. Yes, barley added to water. And that's how healthy it is. The scam is, it's been portrayed as liquor. It's not even liquor, it is a beverage. Now friends, my humble plea to you, stop drinking coffee and tea, add one more beverage to you. The world hasn't told you, this is the biggest scam. I've come out of this scam, I sincerely hope all of y'all do. And right today, start off with the beer. Back to the master.
Are you all ready to go for the next beverage? Okay, so the next topic we have is, let me check. What am I grateful for today? What am I grateful for today? May I request you all to put your hands together for Toastmaster Shreyas.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
It's nice to be back to the live audience and Toastmasters Club. Yeah, thank you. That's it. What am I grateful for? Well, I have walked this earth for the past 2 decades and counting. I can be grateful for many things. I'm breathing, I'm walking, I have a good clothes to wear, good communication skills, blessed life. But if I have to narrow it down to what I'm really grateful for is, I'm grateful for because I am a twin, a fraternal twin, and my other twin, my twin sister, she was born healthy, and she reached the mother's arms when she was born. But when I was born, I was taken away because I was not that healthy, and they said when I was born, I was not able to drink my mother's milk. So they gave me one pat on my backside, and then I started. So ever since, being a twin and living this life, I am grateful for breathing this air. I'm not just grateful for breathing this air, I'm grateful to my mother who's walked the past 16 years after I lost my father, who's brought forward, mentored, and dedicated her entire life to just see who I am. And I'd like to thank you, Mom. Thank you.
The next topic is why I don't want to be famous. I repeat, why I don't want to be famous. May I request you all to put your hands together for Toastmaster Nagesh.
He said, good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
And yes.
He said, convinced or confused. I thought, is it good to cheat? So let me cheat. Sorry. Once upon a time, there were 4 friends. A crow, a tortoise, a mole, and a deer. They were meeting every evening, having a chat for about 2 hours. The way we meet here, every week on Fridays, 6:30 to 8:30, they used to meet every day and talk about something that is important to them. One day it so happened that the deer didn't come. The other 3 friends got worried. The tortoise said we should go up and look for deer. The crow went flying and it saw the deer caught in a net. It came back and told everybody saying that this our friend deer is caught. We will have to help him. They all went, and before the hunter came, the deer was rescued by other 3 friends. Fellow Toastmasters, we all have our nets. We all have our nets in our life. And for me, public speaking was my net where I was caught very badly. And here we are, friends, that you are helping me coming out. Yes.
I'm too confused now. I hope someone convinces me or the audience. So the next topic is my export business idea. I repeat, my export business idea. May I request Toastmaster Alan Rana come on.
Thank you for that wonderful, confusing topic.
I really appreciate that topic because it takes a lot of guts to convince you on an export business idea, right? Am I got that right? So my export business idea would honestly be to show resilience in the midst of challenges. So what do I mean by that? In a place as diverse as India, with so many cultures, so many different type of people, so many social structures, so many castes, and we have been through 2 waves of the pandemic. And my only export business or a service idea would be to showcase that story throughout the world. Is it easy to put India in one word? I don't think it's possible. But we need to sometimes salute what our country has been through and the strength that it has shown. Over the last 2 years, there's been a lot of negativity surrounding the pandemic, but truly, it's the show of strength that needs to be celebrated. And if there's anything that I would like to export, that would be it.
So now we enter the world of fiction. Alright? You guys ready?
Yes.
Miss tired, sleepy? No? Okay. So the topic is you are about to die. What do you want the world to know? I repeat, you're about to die. What you want the world to know? Put your hands together for Toastmaster Sakshi.
Good evening, everyone. I especially request Srijit not to invite me here. I couldn't convince him. Yeah. It's my first time here, and also I always escape from the table topics. And first time, yeah, I'm like really scared. I didn't keep the topic.
Okay, so you can have a different topic. If I
I'll
had
take which one you please.
yeah, if you had $1 million, what would it be?
So yeah, thank you. So I come from this public health background, social development sector. So yeah, if I have millions of money, so yeah, I'm gonna donate it to poor people. And especially I really like the cause of education and health. So yeah, I'm gonna work in the remote areas, especially UP and Bihar, which are the most, poor states of the country. And I'm really gonna go there, stay there, and find out what I can do there. And yeah, I will spend money on the people there. Thank you.
That's great, first time coming on stage and going to the topic, so cheers to that. Next, we have a very interesting topic. It's which is my favorite country in Europe and why? I repeat, which is my favorite country in Europe and why? Put your hands together for Toastmaster Sanjana, please.
For being in Paris, so I think I would like to say Paris and Netherlands. So there are a lot of tulip blooms there and tulip gardens. So I would love to see that. Almost all the countries are very beautiful there. I see my sister's Instagram post where she travels around the world. So mostly in Europe. So I would like to be in Paris and Netherlands. Thank you.
So many times we get just random questions asked to us in offices or anywhere. And sometimes you're like, what do I say? What do I say? So there's a very easy question that I'm going to ask the audience. How was your day? That's the topic. And I request Toastmaster Sumitra Manmohan the same.
fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. How was my day? My day was great today, but if I have to confuse you, I shouldn't say that. Okay. My day was absolutely great because it's Toastmasters on Friday, so I always look forward to Toastmasters. I normally have a nice nap in the evening, so if I fear of sleeping, oversleeping, I also kept awake. And today, it was great because my mentee came and picked me up, so that was another great thing that happened to me. And of course, here I'm on the stage, you rarely see me on the stage, isn't it? So that was another thing I feel really great about. And the very fact that I've been looking forward to the great day. So coming and standing here on the stage makes me feel really great. And I'm grateful for Toastmaster Ralph C. Smedley, whom I consider my god of success, that I'm part of that. And by way of gratitude, I'm going to always give back. As even Melvyn said that, how you help others grow. So that is why I feel my Fridays are really, really great, and being in the midst of all of you great Toastmasters, that's another thing that makes my day great. It's that
The next topic is my role model. I repeat, it's my role model. May I request Toastmaster Achyuta, please.
Good evening, everyone. My role model. Now, I had this paternal granduncle of sorts. He was the editor in, I believe, economic writings, yeah. And when we lost him, he was in Vijay Karnataka. He was called Mr. Ethirajan Raghavan. He was the best person ever. And it was unfortunate that I had to lose him about 8 years ago. But throughout my childhood, he basically held my hand, and he was like the second fatherly figure for me. He was a very learned person. He was very open. He used to make friends so easily. His outlook on life was very unique. He never had enemies, I would like to think. And he always tried to look at the positive in people. Moreover, I would like to add that he was always looking at the positive in people. So I would say my role model is my paternal granduncle, Mr. Rao. Thank you.
The next topic is joke of the day. I repeat, it's joke of the day. I request you all to put your hands together for Toastmaster Alok.
Is it me? Is the joke on me? I wonder, coming here after such a long time and getting this topic which is called joke of the day. Well, I try to make a fist out of it. Let me put it that way. The day starts off. I have to start work early these days. I was never someone who started work before 10 nowadays. I need to start at 8:30 thanks to a new job. And I get on conference calls with my teammates who are there in the other part of Bangalore, sometimes the other part of India, and sometimes the other part of the world. And the first thing that I see, all that I see is their names, and at some point in time hear their voices. So that's been my routine over the last couple of months. Then I realized I was missing something. I was missing going outside my home. All I had was those 4 walls and say being with my parents. I started going outside my home, and then a couple of days earlier, I started going to the gym. I started hitting the gym again because working out online was not going to be great after all. There was no social life. I go there and I look at people staring at their phones all the time. And at the workout place, there was nothing which was engaging because everybody is in their own world all over again. I realized I was missing something again. I commute by metro, I walk on the streets, I realized I was missing something again. I come here, I realized I'm missing something again. And finally, I may not be able to crack a joke, but I would request all of you to just remove this mask and give me a wonderful smile, because that is what a joke is all about. It must make you smile at the end and laugh at the end. So I may not be able to crack a joke, but I will surely request you all to laugh and smile for this one moment, remove your mask so that the topic is done. Thank you so much.
Great, you all look amazing. So the last topic for today is my favorite TV show. I repeat, it's my favorite TV show. May I request K.S. Chetan to come on stage, please.
Okay, I think the fun part of a television show was when I was first, during my matchmaking days, I was asked to go to see a bride's place, and I went there, and we were sitting in the room, and the bride came, she sat down, there were other relatives of the whole family sitting down, and the TV was on. And the TV was on with the National Geographic channel. And the topic on the television was the mating of the snakes. And that was my first odd experience watching television for my matchmaking days. And after that, I think National Geographic really pulled me onto another journey, which I'm now involved with in terms of studying how nature works and how can I learn from nature and things like that. So I think National Geographic is something which really interests me today. And it's something which my children also are pulling me into. So I think one of my favorite shows is on National Geographic. Thank you, everyone.
I thank you all for participation. It's been amazing. Next, I give on the stage to Toastmaster.
It's extremely fun, interesting topics. Let's give it up for Toastmasters. So as we are talking, let's vote for the best table topic speaker. Please take a look at your WhatsApp, and the password is again 1290. Let me give you 5 seconds to finish the voting. Now comes the very interesting part of evaluation, the general evaluation section of the day. The general evaluator of today has been the past president, and as a hobby, he specializes in resume writing. Those of you looking forward to advancing your career or looking out for a change, from that. He also does coaching and writes for techies, and he's also a cartographer, a very unique and interesting hobby. Please help me in welcoming on stage the general evaluator of today, Toastmaster Vijayan.
Thank you so much, Vinay. 5 years back, I came through the door as a guest and sat somewhere there, second row. And my problem was more to do with interpersonal communication rather than really public speaking. I can't look in the eye of somebody else. Even now, it becomes difficult for me. People think I'm arrogant, that's not a way. But so I was sitting there, and of course, at that time at 7:30 there used to be a break, and during the break we go have snacks and come back. So I was not going, I was sitting there. So there is a gentleman who was well dressed and slightly senior. he came up to me and asked me why I'm trying to go have snacks. And I told, sir, I have this bag, this laptop, I don't want to leave it here. So that gentleman said, I will hold your laptop, I will hold your bag, you go have it. So I had my schema, I had to go. I felt extremely comforted. Little did I realize that this gentleman was a person who had worked in the executive, the judiciary, as well as in the legislature, who could work across all the three. And he was the founder of this club. It was none other than Toastmaster Robinson D'Souza, who held the bag here. So he was an undersecretary at Vidhan Sauda before he retired as undersecretary. He was holding my laptop bag. I was thrilled. I mean, that is the reason why I thought, this is very, at least there is some kind of a comfort here, so I could join here. So the surprising thing about gratitude is, how can I repay his gratitude? I cannot. If I run behind repaying Robinson's gratitude, that will never happen. The surprising thing is, you give the gratitude to somebody else. You receive gratitude, you give it to somebody else, and that will not, if you wait to give it to somebody else, or if you pay your gratitude to somebody and ask to come back, it will never come back. Alright, so welcome to this meeting, 1290. When did this meeting start? Oh, not at all. At what time did this meeting start? 6:30, yes. This meeting started in the minds of, this is falling. This meeting started in the minds of the Vice President Education long back, at least 2 weeks back. So the Vice President Education is, for the guests here, is like a chief operating officer of this club. They formulate the meeting, she formulates the meeting, she finds out what should be the order and everything. By now she's already thinking about meetings in October. So it formulated in the minds of the, so by Monday things were ready. Who will be taking the speaking order, everything was ready. As they say, if Vice President Education of a club sneezes, the entire club catches cold. But in this case, I mean, she never sneezes. I mean metaphorically. So the brilliant work, she's not here, but we all know. Today, okay, at what time did the meeting start? Of course, you were all right. It's at 6:30. And so, who started off the meeting? So if you guys do not know, if most of you do not know, this is not a stage for the Sergeant at Arms at all. The Sergeant at Arms used to appear on TV. I don't know if she continues to appear. She's a news reader at the Doordarshan. So that's phenomenal. So while I came here, all the what is expected out of this is the board is to be well written. So it's a very nice handwriting. I cannot compliment just because of that, but it's nice. But I want to compliment on one thing on starting the meeting on time. That's the way it has been. So you just upheld that tradition. So thank you for that. No compliment and no sabashigiri on that, so it's fine. So great. So the first time, you were doing it for the first time, brilliant. And it's a very nice introduction to the president. Usually, to introduce a president, you struggle because he's been introduced every time. By quoting the name of the book of his idol. So that is a brilliant way of introducing. And it wouldn't take more than 2 minutes. That's brilliant. It's one thing Toastmaster Chandana, TV is Chetana, right? So Chetana, that I would say, do not wait on the stage. So you should know it better. Once the camera starts rolling on the TV, you don't wait there for the news to. You don't wait, right? The news starts. The same thing is come here, it should start. Okay, don't wait here and try to see if the mic is right and all those. That won't come here and start. All right. And do not welcome to the meeting number 1290. The meeting has not started. You are introducing the president at that point of time. Okay, the meeting has not been called for. So the Sergeant at Arms does not welcome that particular meeting number. The meeting has not technically started. All right. So then secretary, then president comes and calls the secretary. Secretary's report was good, but more than anything, I would really request you to read the minutes that the secretary sends every Sunday, 7:30 a.m. Every Sunday after I read my newspaper, I just check my smartphone, and this is what I get, and that is a book summary also.
It's a book, some books summary. That's brilliant. So much of energy goes into that, and it's been a long time since this kind of a regularity has been built in sending the news memos. Brilliant. Then comes our president. President, there are people who talk to you, okay? And there are people who talk at you. There are very few people who talk with you, and that's President Srijit. So President Srijit is not an Abraham Lincoln, he is not a Martin Luther King, he is not an Obama, but he speaks from heart. What he is off the stage is what he is on the stage. And he has this subtle humor. No voice modulation, no dancing on the stage, but that humor makes you laugh. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. So that's about Srijit. And that's what you get from Toastmaster Srijit, President Srijit. So that's brilliant of him. And I think the problem is by saddling this offline business, he forgot really to call to order. So that's brilliant. You have to take the gavel, hit it here, and say, "Oh, I call to order." So that is the only reason why, my son wanted me to be the president, because you hold that thing, something like a hammer, and you put it here. Oh, that's brilliant. As soon as my term was over, he was very sad that he no longer could see me holding and hitting on the podium. So that's fine. So that's an opportunity history. So you will get president. You will get only for 26 weeks, half of 22 weeks, 26 weeks here. For 13 weeks you should utilize it. All right. Then we had the speeches. So let's go to the evaluators of the speeches. The first evaluator of the speech of Toastmaster and was Toastmaster Joe Small.
Thank you, Evaluator. Toastmasters, dear guests, and Aaron Kamath, Toastmaster Aaron Kamath in particular. I think we were both put in a spot because you being my mentee, I had to evaluate you on a project regarding mentoring. But I want to state here, this is a disclaimer, that this speech was not reviewed by me earlier. This is not to distance myself from the speech if it required any improvements, but this is only to inform that I have not been influenced by the speech. Now coming to the basic aspects of public speaking, that is the clarity, vocal variety, eye contact and confidence. I think you have done a wonderful job, well done, and we know confident speaker and very articulate, and it was very evident when you posed questions to the audience and articulated the answers that you got from them. I think you did a brilliant job there. One suggestion in that aspect was that I found you holding your mask. You had both your hands full, one with a mask and one with a chip. So what you could have possibly done is put the mask in the pocket, and the chip, I would suggest that if it was just bullet points, you could have had a bigger sheet, kept it here, and then spaced your walk to just have a glance and then do it, so it wouldn't distract the audience. And then another aspect is that as soon as you finish the speech, I think you just walked away. Generally we allow or we wait for the Toastmaster to come here and hand over the lectern. So that is something that you could follow from the next time. Coming to the content of the speech, now I would say that this is basically at two parts. One is the purpose of the project, to define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. There you did well to inform the audience of the objectives and the role of a mentor in the Toastmasters program. And you introduced us to the term Toast Mentor. I think that's the first time I've ever heard it. And you made it very clear that mentor is somebody who holds a hand to the way the mentorship is beyond any formal, any book or a manual, and it's a sounding board. I think those things were very well done. Now, the second part of the speech required you to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. In that part, I think you were magnanimous to show your gratitude by acknowledging my contribution to your Toastmasters journey. But another aspect was, I think you should have possibly used this part of the speech to narrate an experience in the form of a story, because that will stay well with the audience and they would recollect and relate it to it very well when they think of a mentor or about mentorship. I think that is where we possibly could have done well, but otherwise I thought you did extremely well. All the very best for your next speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joseph, for a very nice evaluation. You have a very affable character, so we'll all like the speech. But if I may suggest, you had a series of somebody who is, and at the end came the anecdote or a story that you had. If you can put the story in the beginning, so people get the context, so that it's like put practicals and then the theory next. That's the better way of any speech, so that it stays in the minds of the audience. Okay. So the next speech was by Toastmaster Melvyn Smith, evaluated by Toastmaster Teresa.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, esteemed guest, and Toastmaster Melvyn Smith in particular. If you're not seeing him, it's okay. He will be watching my videos. Congratulations, Toastmaster Melvyn. M to the power 2, I can say, because magnanimous Melvyn, for your speech title, D to the power 3, DQ we say in maths, that is dream, dare, do. Since his objective was a mentor, I would like to evaluate his speech using acronym mentor. First, M. Mesmerizing opening by saying, "Hello, Toastmasters!" He screamed and he woke us up. And his gestures were great. Once he said, "Do you know how much?" Almost one wonderful gesture was there. I liked it, and amazing script. Next, we go for E, where he was effective chronological structure. Toastmaster Melvyn, I like the way you beamed your speech in 3 phases: dream, dare, do, and you explained in detail. N for novelty of mentors. You spoke about mentee, mentor and mentee, and your experience in connection with those 3: dream, dare, do. I loved it. I also admired the way you mentioned about your mentee's progress and the respect for your mentor, Anil Rego, and like the humor too. As I mentioned, where you excel, now I would like to give you 3 recommendations as my observation. T. Transform us through vivid imagining. Toastmaster Melvyn, your speech would have been gone to great heights if you had some dialogues with your mentee or with mentor. Oh, optimized conclusion was insane. I would recommend 45 to 60 seconds to conclude, where it will give an impact. And the last recommendation will be R. Relish your delivery with a powerful message. As I conclude, you mesmerized with great opening, eye contact, gestures, and humor. Also effective order, novelty of mentor. Only if I recommend you to have dialogues, good conclusion, and powerful message, you would go to next level. Good luck to Toastmaster Melvyn. Over to you, General.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Teresa. How many of you know that Toastmaster Teresa is a postgraduate in mathematics? You can take of that, right? D cube and all those. More than D square, you wouldn't go if you're not. All right. So the next speech was by Toastmaster Robinson D'Souza, and evaluated by Abhay Kassari.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and Mr. Robinson in particular. Now, I have a question to all of you. If a bucket of water is taken out of the sea, will it make any difference to the sea? And I think that's exactly what Robinson sir does. He comes on stage and he dips his bucket into the sea of stories he's collected from a wealth of experience, and he just gives it to us. So thank you, Mr. Robinson, for presenting this speech. What I really loved about your speech was how you connected with the audience. You know, your presence on stage with a tie and a beautiful smile really made a difference to all of us. Standing behind the podium, I believe that you use body language to as effectively as possible, and that's something I really like. So standing behind the podium, you deliver the speech in your signature style. What I took away from your speech is that you can use these 4 styles of communication in almost any context, be it professional or personal. You explained why you need communication very clearly. You told us how much it contributes to our success. And you gave us the 4 different styles of communication very, very clearly. Analytical, supportive, initiative, and direct. So I do remember the trend. Now, if I were to give you some points, sir, I couldn't say that I can give you some feedback. I'm only a toddler of 4 years in Toastmasters who's learning from someone who's been in it 20 years. I only like to direct my attention towards certain points. You said that words are your strength in Toastmasters, and I think that too many words can really take it away from you. And what I thought was, in the first story of Pradeep and Pramila, there were too many details that were given about their domestic life, which didn't really help us or help you rather. And the effect of this was that you had to make a hasty conclusion without really summarizing. So this was point number 1. And the other point I'd like to direct your attention towards is, I can't really stress how many times you've told us the importance of voice modulation. So I believe a lot of points in your story had scope for voice modulation, and the evaluation sheets asked us to challenge you at something. So, Mr. Robinson, I very humbly challenge you to try voice modulation again. That's all I had for you. Thank you so much. Wish you a good evening and good luck with your future
Sir, there were 4 anecdotes in just 7 minutes. Brilliant. That's all from heart. Thank you. If I may offer one thing, but you spent 1 minute here in the beginning. That was a bit of a distraction. So if you needed some setting, better we can. It's better to inform the sergeant at arms ahead of time so that you can come here and begin with your speeches. Yes, this is the brilliance. I'm a toddler, and I can still kind of what we call it as criticize a founder's speech. That's the beauty of Toastmasters. All right. So you all must have received link for the vote for voting the best evaluator today, and the passcode is 1290. 1290. Vote the best evaluator of the day. Okay, so usually I have always felt that the tag team is rushed through. So let me call the tag team, not the listener, but the tag team, the rest of the tag team. So Timer, can you please provide your report?
Good evening, everyone. The meeting started actually 1 minute early, 6:29 we started. And let's look at the profit and loss statement. All the speakers, they were a bit on aggressive investment, so they exceeded the time. They exceeded by 30 seconds. Aaron exceeded by 30 seconds. Melvyn, Toastmaster Melvyn by 55 seconds, and Toastmaster Robinson D'Souza by 50 seconds. And table topics, everyone was cautious, and they were within time, 1 to 2 minutes, and Alok was spot on at 2 minutes. And the 2 speakers were less than 1 minute, that was Sakshi and Sanjana. Somehow evaluators, very good investors, spot on 3 minutes. That's over to you.
Thank you. Thanks, very few members have this innovation usually. Toastmaster Varsha.
Sorry to
would like to call myself as and conqueror today. So the first three favorite crutch words in prepared speeches were and, but, and absolutely. And was used 15 times, but was used 8 times, and you see were used thrice. Coming to the table topics, and again tops the board. Next comes and was used 28 times, but was used 5 times. All right. Okay, and a couple of other words were used 1 or 2 times each. Evaluation segment, so far have been used 28 times, and again is on its way. So, we love this topic.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Varsha. Now, let me call upon Toastmaster Jainu for the amazing.
So the first word of the day is identity task Shilpa use it once. Vinay, Toastmaster Vinay use it once. Toastmaster Melvyn use it once. Toastmaster Paul use it once. Toastmaster Teresa use it once. Now, regarding the good usage of English today, I felt the good usages were enjoy the audience, delighted to be here in person and live, speaking eloquently, lighting the flame of an onion brightening the room, confident, direct, focused and disoriented, logical, precise, analytical, logical, rapid, convinced or confused, thoughts to show you the way, mesmerizing, opening, relish or delivery with powerful message, wealth of experience. As for wrong, incorrect uses of English, I felt that most of the speakers today spoke impeccable English. I really struggled to find any mistakes. And so two such mistakes were there. One such mistake was billions of money, which should either be lots of money or billions of dollars. Fantasize for being in Paris, I think maybe a more appropriate way of saying it, fantasize being in Paris.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jainu. Let me now come to the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster of the day is like a sutradhara of the whole meeting. The whole idea of the Toastmaster of the day is to connect all the speakers, but without concentrating the attention on himself or herself. That's something brilliantly done by Vinay. He was just to the point, and yet he had a lot of humor. For example, he told that there is no space for butterflies in his stomach because his stomach is full. That's really nice way of putting it across. And so there was connection from one speech to another, but at the same time it's very brief. To the point that I felt that we could have utilized some time to really fill up some more time, some more introductions or whatever that might be. By the way, when did you start giving out distinguished Toastmasters? They are distinguished, small d. Distinguished Toastmasters, the way the title is given away by Toastmasters, they are not. For example, Toastmaster Robinson and Toastmaster Melvyn Smith are really distinguished, but not DTMs. So we should keep that in mind. Good that we call them as. And then let us come to the table topics master of the day. Table topics master. So again, the attention should not be on oneself, but to provide opportunity to the speakers, and that's something which Mahavir did really well. Okay, all the topics which people understand, most of it people understand. So that's also innovative topics. Only thing that I would say is when you call, it's like a Diwali crackers, you don't use the best crackers in the beginning. So never use Toastmaster Vijayanand and Toastmaster Rajdeep in the beginning. Not at all. When the president starts saying that, hey, finish it, man, then you tell these two guys are good. He has no option to say, yeah, okay, then let's use it and blast it out. Okay? So that's, you end it on style. There's another aspect. When these two brilliant Toastmasters speak, others try to measure up to them, and it becomes a bit difficult. And that might be a bit discouraging. Okay? Although you should not get discouraged, we should not compare ourselves. Although we are told to be competitive humans, so we end up comparing. So to avoid comparison, push them to the end. Okay? So like a hero speech usually comes to the end, right? So that's what you have to do. So let us now go to the listener. This is where the pause happens. I should have had a long pause and then call the listener. So pause is over, my evaluation is over.
Thank you for giving me opportunity. show my gratitude for you. I thought I missed out from tag team. So, are you ready for test your listening skills?
Yes. Yes.
So, first question: when he came to Bangalore, he had a nightmare. I'm not going to ask him who is the person, but what was his nightmare? First nightmare.
Girls speaking to him in English. Talking to girls in English. Catching an order.
Catching the wife. You are not listening. What was the first? And the right answer is Varsha, talking to the girls. So, our advocate speaker had completed today which pathway? Advocate speaker completed which pathways? First, you can connect who is the advocate in today's speaker. Aaron, that's right. And completed which pathways? So completed pathways. Completed or he has done that pathways. Which pathways? Effective communication, presentation, skill or whatever. What? Dynamic leadership. Right? Next question. Our former president, the speaker mentioned 3 purposes of joining Toastmasters. What are they? Speakers.
Better leader, and better network to go to the bar.
Oh, that's right. It goes to Smita and Reza ma'am. That's right. For the success in job depends on 3 factors. What are they? And mentioned by our founder, Toastmaster Robinson D'Souza. What are they?
Qualification, experience, and communication.
So I want there is a percentage has been
515 and 320. 515 and 320.
What are they?
5 is qualification, 15 is experience.
So 5% is education, 15% is experience, and 85% is communication. So that's right. Other important thing, other question is that DTM Rajdeep tried to confuse us by mentioning which company he had worked. That's correct. So this is all about a few questions that you have really passed out in the listening skills. Over to the
Thank you so much for Kamlesh. All right. So one advice, I think at least there are 10 of you or 15 of you who are Toastmasters but are facing the stage for the first time. Never leave the stage empty. Okay? You will have to hand it over to somebody. From the very beginning, from the sergeant at arms till the end, hand it over to somebody. Okay? Don't pop off. Alright? So, to conclude, to run a club in one mode itself is difficult. To run a club in 2 modes, offline, online, it's very difficult. And this is the only committee in Bangalore who's doing it. Rest all the clubs are running online as far as I know, or they are doing it offline, I'm not sure. But to run it in 2 modes, it's difficult. And this committee is doing a brilliant job of saddling between these 2 things. And I think that's we all have to compliment them for that. And that's all. All the best to the committee for having all this innovative way of doing things. And thanks so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much. Back to the Toastmasters.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, for such a brilliant evaluation session. A lot of things to learn, a lot of things to apply and execute next time. As we are speaking, I think you already have a link on WhatsApp for the best role taker. The password is the same, 1290. Please cast your words. And with this, we come to a conclusion of today's meeting. It has been a fantastic meeting. Yes or no?
Yes.
Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinay Venkatraman, for conducting this meeting flawlessly. Thank you so much. Thank you all the
without your effort, this meeting wouldn't have been possible. Thank you so much. So, since this meeting themed as gratitude, how can I go without mentioning the founder of Toastmaster International, Ralph C. Smedley. Actually, last week I was speaking about him, and I got these points. So maybe I'll just question to you, do you know what was the 4 principles he was always insisting his team members or Toastmasters? 4 principles. Yeah?
Rise, respect, integrity.
That is Toastmasters. This was just, you won't get just like
Being there too.
no, I will only tell you. I will try to recollect and I'll tell you. First one, keep it simple. Keep it simple, boys. Keep it simple. Believe in individual. Second, third one, enjoy each moment or enjoy the process of learning. And fourth one, do it yourself in Toastmasters. Do it yourself. So these 4 were his principle, and in the beginning, in the 1905, when he started, he was trying all these things, he was mentioning these 4 principles. So I thought today this is the time to share with you, all of you. And now it is time to announce the awards. I'm sure, is it ready? Yes. So the best tag role player goes to Toastmaster Manikandan. And the best role taker goes to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Vivek Vijay. And the best evaluator, it's a tie. DDM Teresa ma'am and Toastmaster Abhay. I request both of you. And the best table topic speaker goes to Toastmaster Vijayan. And the best speaker, actually all the speakers have exceeded the time, so still we have to give one, right? So, Toastmaster Melvyn Smith, and he is not here today.
It's Friday.
So, yeah, it's Friday, and I don't want to miss this opportunity. So, before I adjourn, we all should shout out for Toastmaster Sureka ma'am for her. One more thing, I think our birthday baby Toastmaster Guru, please sing a happy birthday song for him.
Yeah.
Speechcraft we are starting on 26th of this month. And I request those who have not renewed, I request you to renew the membership. With that note, I adjourn. Yeah.
The next meeting, next week's meeting is
Next to me, oh sorry, next week meeting will be online because it is going to online offline. So next week also it's online. We are planning for 1 week online, 1 week offline for some time. Then we'll take it up. So with that note, I adjourn this meeting.